What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Prep Series. Just finished up a training session with an in-person client. Gonna be going back home, get some work done. I got quite a few programs to get set up. But yeah, this morning was a very hectic morning. Had a photo shoot with Evan where we made a bunch of content and stuff like that. But my brain, with being like the fifth deficit day in a row, is not really functioning too well, having a hard time like finding stuff and just taking so much longer to figure out what I need to do. So that's kind of something that kind of comes along with prep, and just being sure to manage your emotions, make sure you breathe. Just understand that it's going to take a little bit more time to do certain tasks, especially towards the end of the week. But yeah, for the rest of the day, you got some programs to do. I think I have like 6 or 7 programs to rate. I'm going to be getting a leg session in this afternoon. And I'll probably film most of that stuff for you guys, probably do a voiceover and just give you some cues on what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and all that good stuff. But yeah, stay tuned for the rest of the day. So just finished up with some programs, still have one more to go, but it was feeling like I needed a little bit of a break, so I'm gonna head to the gym now for about an hour and a half, get my leg workout in. I know this workout's probably gonna be a little bit rougher than the other ones, because this is the last workout of the week and it's the last day in a deficit, and then I'll be having refeed calories to kind of replenish on the weekend. But yeah, just getting in some pre-workout. I've been trying the Vandal products recently. I've had their pre-workout I think a couple years ago, but I kind of just forgot about the company actually. But recently I've started having the products again, and I've been trying out the pre-workout, the Vito, so the EAAs, the BCAAs, the multivitamins and stuff like that. I do really notice with this pre-workout, a lot of times when I'm in prep, I'm having quite high doses of caffeine. And sometimes when you have high doses, you can kind of have that big crash or feel like jittery or like anxious after. I haven't really been feeling any of that while taking this stuff, so it's been really nice. And then for my intro workout, being quite depleted, it's really nice to have something to sip on. So this has some electrolytes, so some sodium, some Himalayan salts in there, EAAs and BCAAs in there as well. So with this kind of stuff, typically in my off season, I wouldn't really care too much about the intra workout. But right now, since I'm super depleted, this has been really helping me like push through my workouts. And I've been noticing I've been looking more full too while taking this stuff while I'm working out. So it's been helping out a lot. But yeah, about to get this pre-workout shaken. I don't know where the lid is. And then I will see you guys at the gym. So this workout actually turned out a lot better than expected. Since I was filming some content this morning with Evan, I was doing a lot of different movements, so I was kind of fatiguing myself a little bit with that session. So going into this morning's leg workout, I was a little worried that I wasn't going to be able to push. But things actually went really well. Like that just goes to show sometimes even if you're not feeling it, you could still have a really good session. But yeah, I started off my session with these seated leg curls. I'm hinging over a little bit more just to get more of a stretch in the hamstrings, as when you hinge at your hip joint, that actually stretches the hamstrings even more. And I'm making sure to have a lot of control in that stretch position, making sure I'm keeping the tension on the hamstrings. Next, I moved into this kind of hack squat machine. This machine actually feels really good. I thought I'd try it for this training block. Last training block I was doing it with just the regular hack squat machine with the plates. This time I'm trying it with this, and I can get a lot of depth, and I feel a little bit more controlled with this movement as well. It's more of an equal tension profile, like throughout the whole range of motion, whereas the regular hack squat machine, it's a little bit more challenging at the bottom. But since I am doing a sissy squat on the hack squat machine, I figured I would give this a go. But I love this movement because, yeah, you can get super deep with it. I was using my regular shoes with my first set. This set I was using my squat shoes so I could really bring my feet down and get a lot of flexion through my knee joint. But yeah, this movement feels really, really good. Just really trying to control that eccentric, go super deep, and allowing my knees to travel forward and pushing them slightly out. So I'm going to be keeping this movement in this block for my training. Yeah, other than that, the next movement that I did end up going into was the abduction machines, or bringing your legs together. I've been just experimenting with it a little bit. I haven't really done too much of it in my off season, but I thought, yeah, might as well work the adductors a little bit. It's not super fatiguing. A lot of people ask me how to set up this movement. So yeah, you just essentially have it nice and wide, sit up tall, bring your knees over top of like the pads, and then just kind of sit into it as you are closing your legs. I find that's the best way to get into it. Yeah, feeling really good with this movement. Definitely not the strongest, which is a good sign that it would be something to work towards, especially in my next off season, just to continue growing those adductors. What did I have after this? I think I went into the hip thrust machine. So this hip thrust machine is a little bit different than machines I've used in the past. Your back pad is actually moving as you're coming back, which actually feels super comfortable. I was playing around with the foot position. I had to bring it back a little bit more. You typically want your knees to be directly stacked over that ankle joint. I try to keep a lot of control with this movement too, because you don't want to have a lot of momentum coming up, or else you're kind of taking that tension off for your glutes. So a lot of control coming up and control coming down, feeling that tension through the glutes. This machine actually feels a lot better than other machines I've used in the past. And then from there, I went into leg extensions. So with the leg extensions, I'm really focusing on keeping my knees locked in place, not allowing them to travel out or in. And I find I can feel my rec fem a lot more doing this. And then having a lot of control in that bottom position, really feeling that last little bit of stretch, and then coming all the way up. I think I was aiming for about 8 to 10 repetitions with this one here. It's crazy how fast my hair is already growing back on my quads, around my legs. I gotta probably trim those up again. That was it for that. And then from there, I believe, I had the calf raises to finish this workout off. I typically have abs after, but with the filming that I did with Evan, we actually did quite a bit of abs in that, so my abs were actually still quite fatigued. Seated calf raises to get a little bit more of the soleus rather than the gastroc. So with this one, I really focus on the same thing, control, taking that stretch reflex out of the bottom. A lot of people bounce out of it, but if you're wanting to get a lot of your calves out of this movement, you want to make sure you take that stretch reflex, pause for a quick second at the bottom, and then make sure when you're coming back up, it's a nice smooth but strong contraction, not bouncing out of it. So that's all I got for you guys for today's YouTube episode. Let me know in the comments below if you have any specific topics that you'd like me to cover in my next YouTube video. So I'm officially 5 weeks out, so 5 weeks to continue dialing things in. Got another 2 to 3-ish pounds to drop, and then I should be at my stage level of conditioning. Have a good one, guys.